Classroom Dynamics is supported by Logitech. As education continues to evolve, so does Logitech Education, your partner in content creation for the classroom. With Logitech's cutting-edge technology, students not only learn but also become content creators. Whether it's in person or online, Logitech's tools are designed to inspire educators and learners alike. Capture every educational moment in stunning detail and edit, produce, and share your creative journey with ease. Logitech Education, inspiring the next generation of creators. For more, visit logitech.com/education, transforming classrooms one innovation at a time. Every classroom has the potential to be extraordinary, and the Logitech Reach adjustable content camera is your partner in making that happen. With its flexible arm and clear video, you can now showcase everything from detailed drawings to live experiments, ensuring that every student is engaged and involved. Whether you're teaching in person or online, Logitech Reach helps you connect with your students in a whole new way. Ready to take your lessons further? Visit logitech.com/reach and elevate your classroom to a whole new level. Welcome to Classroom Dynamics, Bits and Bytes, the podcast within the podcast where we explore cutting-edge technologies for your classroom. Hi everybody, I'm your host Adam Todd, and today we're talking all about re-energizing your teaching practice, not with another PD slideshow or one more mandated strategy, but rather with some out-of-the-box ideas that just might shake things up in all the right ways. Now, the first idea that we're going to talk about today is to teach what you're terrible at. You're going to flip the comfort zone. You heard me correctly. That's right. Teach something you're bad at doing, or at least outside of your comfort zone. Now, why would I say this? It's simple. Because it immediately restores empathy with your students. Think back to when you were a kid. You must remember what it feels like to be unsure of yourself or vulnerable and eager to grow. So here's how it works. Pick something like origami, beatboxing, animation, or coding a chatbot, anything where you're learning alongside of your students, and be transparent about it. Tell your class, hey, I'm not here as an expert. We're going to figure this out together. Not only does this inject play and risk-taking into the room, but it models a growth mindset in real time. You're not delivering content, you're co-exploring with your kids. So the bonus here, the kids see you as a human, you're curious, you're fallible, you're just like them. Here's the second idea. Anonymous passion swaps, starting a fire that you didn't know existed. This one is part scavenger hunt, part SparkFest. You're going to meld these together. Have each student write down one thing that they're truly, wildly passionate about. It could be anything: Minecraft, marine biology, baking, pro wrestling, you name it, and put them all into a jar. Then every week, draw out one at random. That becomes your class's thematic inspiration for the day or even the week. Let's say that you draw skateboarding. Now suddenly, your ELA prompt is, write a persuasive pitch for your dream skate park. And your math warm-up? Maybe that's to calculate the slope angles on a half pipe. You don't need a skateboarding unit, you just need to tap into what lights your students up and wrap your content around it. And here's the bonus. Not only is this built-in STEM work, but you'll also discover your own hidden interests too. So whether you're learning alongside your students or diving headfirst into the world of passions, these strategies help make learning real again for both you and your class. Now, for more on re-energizing your teaching practice, here are our Google Notebook language model hosts, Bits and Bytes.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you cut through all the noise and get straight to the insights that matter. We all want that feeling, right? Being energized, engaged in what we do, especially professionally. And let's face it, we're always looking for smarter ways to stay informed, not just, swamped with information. So today, what we're really going to dive into is how to re-energize your professional practice. We're focusing specifically on teaching, the craft of it. And the big idea we want to unpack is, well, it's not about working harder. It's about working differently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that difference is so important. Think about your professional energy, not like a battery that just runs down, but more like a current. When that flow flows down or gets blocked, that's when engagement drops. Not just for you, but for your students too, for everyone you interact with. Burnout. It's not just feeling tired. It's a signal, really. A signal that your creative fuel is running low. And teaching, when it's really firing, is deeply creative work. So finding ways to re-energize, it's not an indulgence, is it?
No, not at all.
It's essential, like keeping your tools sharp. It's about bringing positivity back.
I like that framing burnout as a signal. It shifts the focus, makes it proactive. So if we want to work differently, rekindle that creative spark, what's a first step? What can we actually do?
Okay, well, let's kick things off with something we call a design a micropilot challenge. Sounds maybe a bit technical, but it's basically a short experiment. Like one day, maybe even just one class period.
Yeah.
Students tackle a real-world problem or maybe a curriculum challenge, but one that isn't totally scripted by you.
Okay, a micropilot. I like the sound of that. Less intimidating than a huge project. How does a teacher actually, set this up? What does it look like?
Right. So you start by posing an open-ended problem, something relevant, something real. Maybe, how can our school reduce waste at lunchtime? Simple, but complex too.
Okay.
Or if you're doing literature, maybe, how would this character from the book survive in our world today? Or thinking about student well-being, what kind of app could help us manage stress before exams? Then the students, they just dive in. Brainstorming, sketching ideas, maybe role-playing solutions, building a quick prototype, pitching their thoughts, all in that short time frame. And the key part for the teacher, this is crucial, is to let go of that need for perfect control. You become more of a facilitator.
A guide on the side, not the sage on the stage.
Exactly. You're guiding, asking questions, but not jumping in to fix everything or provide all the answers.
Okay, letting go sounds great, but also maybe a bit scary for teachers used to detailed lesson plans. What helps make that leap? And how does that specifically help the teacher's energy, their positivity?
That's a great question because it connects to the why. This approach, it's got roots in design thinking.
Right, the problem-solving process.
Yes, human-centered, iterative, and also in agile classroom, ideas, flexibility, responsiveness. Think about design thinking. It embraces trying things out, even failing fast, learning from what doesn't work.
That takes the pressure off perfection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It frees you from needing that perfect first draft. And agile methods help you respond to students now, rather than sticking rigidly to a plan made weeks ago. That adaptability itself, it reduces the mental load. That's a huge energy saver.
Okay, I see that.
And the research, places like Stanford, Edutopia, they show these design-focused classrooms really boost motivation, deep learning, and student ownership, especially around these real-world problems.
Right.
But for the teacher's energy, that's where the magic happens. You rediscover that incredible spark when you see students surprise you.
When they come up with something you didn't expect.
Precisely. Their curiosity, their unexpected solutions. It actually feeds your energy back. You shift from feeling like you have to perform all the time to being more of a witness to their learning. That's incredibly liberating.
Yeah.
And positive.
That magical energy. Yeah, that really sounds like the opposite of burnout. Okay, moving on, but keeping that energy theme. The next strategy involves getting people moving. Literally, you called it walk and talk learning. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, walk and talk learning, it's, I think, seriously underrated. It gets way beyond the usual static think, pair, share. The idea is pretty straightforward. Take the discussion outside, or even just into the hallway. Let the conversation happen while moving.
So less sitting, more strolling. I like it. How does that work practically? What kinds of questions fit?
It's really simple to run, actually. Students pair up, you give them a specific prompt, and they walk and discuss. The prompt could be anything, really. What would you have done differently if you were that character? Or for math, where could we actually use this skill in the real world? Or thinking about current issues, how could AI be used for good or for harm? And then maybe every few minutes you just have them switch partners. Rotate the pairs.
Ah, so they get different perspectives.
Exactly. Ideas get cross-pollinated. They hear different takes on the problem or the concept.
The research you mentioned about walking, boosting thinking, that's fascinating. But, schools can be busy places. Is managing the logistics, like keeping track of everyone, ever a barrier? Does it sometimes drain energy instead of boosting it?
That's a fair point. Logistics matter, but it's adaptable. You can set clear boundaries for where they walk. Or, if going outside isn't practical, even just using a large classroom or a gym space can work. The immediate benefits, though, are pretty clear. Bodies moving, brains working differently. It makes coming back to a whole class discussion feel more natural, less forced somehow.
Right.
And the research backs it up. Harvard Medical School. Studies in journals like Frontiers in Psychology, they confirm walking boosts engagement, creativity, even memory.
It's not just about memory, though, is it?
No, not at all. It's also the change of environment. Just getting out of those four walls can be really refreshing for everyone. Plus, it tends to lower anxiety.
Yeah.
Walking side by side feels less confrontational than sitting face to face sometimes.
That makes sense.
So for the teacher, it reduces that feeling of having to manage the discussion so tightly. You can kind of join the flow more naturally, which is definitely re-energizing. It brings back some of the joy.
Okay, so student ownership, movement, these are powerful energy boosters.
Looking for a smarter way to protect and use your tech on the go? The Higher Ground Gear DataKeeper Plus CS is built for action. Work directly from the case without ever removing your device. Stay organized with a built-in storage pocket for accessories, and rest easy knowing you've got serious drop protection designed for real-world classrooms and busy professionals. The DataKeeper Plus CS. Organize smarter, protect better, and work wherever you are. For more information, visit hggear.com today.
At Your Way Learning, education is personal. With tools like our AI Lesson Builder, teachers can craft lessons that meet every student's needs. Your Way Learning, where your path becomes your power. For more, visit yourwaylearning.com today.
For our last strategy, let's talk about tech. How can technology, used the right way, also spark energy? You mentioned a digital gallery or exhibition.
Yes, exactly. This is a fantastic way to use tech authentically. Students basically curate their own digital exhibition. Around a theme, a unit you're studying, maybe an essential question, they can use tools like Padlet, Wakelet, Canva for education, Adobe Express, Google Sites, lots of options.
So they're becoming curators of their own learning.
Pretty much. And these aren't just tools to make things look nice. They support deeper thinking and real-world ways of showing what you know.
How does this look in different subjects? Can you give us some examples, that museum twist idea?
Sure. So say you're teaching ecosystems, or poetry, or the civil rights movement, or even fractions. Students gather and organize things for their digital gallery. It could be their own writing, audio recordings, videos they make, but also reflections, articles they find, primary source documents, images, interviews with peers, photos of classroom work. You can frame it like a museum. Curate an online museum. What the world needs to know about X.
I like that.
So for English, maybe it's the Emotion Museum. Poems that moved us. For math, a gallery of patterns. In nature in numbers. Social studies can be movements that moved us, a digital exhibit. The goal is they thoughtfully pull together and present their understanding of a topic or a real-world connection.
That definitely sounds engaging for students. But loop back to the teacher's energy. What's the real kicker here for them? How does this specifically recharge their batteries?
Well, first, it aligns really well with research from places like CAST. The Universal Design for Learning People.
UDL, right. Multiple means of expression.
Exactly. UDL stresses giving students choice in how they show what they know, the tools they use. When students have that genuine choice, their own motivation, their intrinsic motivation, it just shoots up.
And motivated students are easier to teach.
Well, yes, but it's more than that. Their energy becomes infectious. It directly fuels your energy. And using these digital tools, it allows for things like asynchronous work, different ways to give feedback that can actually lighten the teacher's load, reduce grading fatigue a bit.
Okay, that's practical.
But here's the real kicker, the bit that really brings the positivity. You learn so much from them. Seeing what they choose to include, the connections they make to the world, how they organize their thoughts, it gives you such valuable insight into their thinking, their values, their creativity. It's genuinely energizing for both sides of the screen, really.
So it sounds like whether you're trying a micropilot, getting lessons moving with a walk and talk, or having students build these digital galleries, all these approaches help bring that energy back into your practice, back into your purpose as an educator.
Absolutely. It underscores that your teaching practice isn't static. It's alive. It needs, oxygen, variety, a connection to purpose. These strategies, whether it's tackling real-world problems in a pilot or just getting outside for some cognitive cardio, they help you reconnect with why you started teaching.
Yeah.
They bring back that positivity, and they're grounded in solid research about what helps learning stick and what supports well-being.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something for you, our listener, to think about. A way to start re-energizing your own professional current. Just ask yourself, what single small step could you take, maybe even today, to bring a little more variety or purpose back into your own practice?
For more on Classroom Dynamics, follow us on X @ClassDynamics or on Instagram @Classroom Dynamics Podcast. And be sure to search Classroom Dynamics on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast shows.